chapter, we're going to look at what happens if you have expenses that you incur that you need to bill onto your customers, or anything that you just want to record by which customer that they're for. So if we go into a bill, like we do normally, don't think it's set up for billable expenses at the moment. As you can see here, there's no details on what we can do. So we come out of that and then go into the cog and go into accounting settings. This is what you'll need to switch on. So under expenses, you can see here it says track expenses and items by customer is off. So we want to turn that on and say that we want them to be billable. You can choose if you want to mark up with default rate, which we're not going to do at the moment. And I can say I want to mark it all in one account. So just click on that is save there and come out. Now when we go into the bill section, it will look slightly different. So say I've got another bill for Cass Hayden. Say they're an insurance company and I want to bill that on. It's something that I've purchased on behalf of the company that I do work for. So I've got a bill date of the 1st of July. Bill number 00005. It's insurance, 1,250. It's exempt because there's no VAT on insurance. Okay, so I've incurred this for Admin Co. Now I can decide whether it's a billable expense or not. So if it's an expense that I've incurred for the customer and I want to track that it's not something I'm billing onto them, you just leave that box blank. If you do then want to bill them, you click there. I'm going to click Save and New. So I'm going to show you something else on there. And I'm just going to put a new supplier in, Mr. P. Jones. He's going to be an associate subcontractor. And his bill date is the 10th July, bill number 1. Subcontracted services, work for June 2019, and he's cost me £750. He's not VAT registered. It's for Admin Co again, and again I want to make that billable. So I save and close this time. Now, when I go in to create an invoice for Admin Co, you can see on the right here that we can actually add these on here. So just say that I want to add both of those on. I then want to put in what we've done for them. So we've done a gold party for £2,000 at 20%. We've also got these parts here that we've added already. Now, when we do print and preview, what you'll see is that all 3 items come up on there. So we've got the insurance, we've got the work for June for the other subcontractor, and the party that we've done for them. And that's got the total balance. Now, some of this on there, the subcontracted services, may be VATable, even though the original person wasn't, because it's work that they're doing on behalf of yourself. Some things, so for example, the insurance, that would still be exempt. So you can go in and change this if you need to. And then literally save and close. Okay, Now, what we didn't look at before when we just set that up is a markup rate. So I'm just going to look at that again now. If it is also, for example, subcontractors that you use and you want to mark up how much they charge to how much you actually charge out to the client, you can do that here. So if I go into edit it again and do a markup of 20% and click done. Do I want to leave without saving? No. I wanted to save it there and then done here. Right, so I'm going to do this again and show you what happens. So if we click on a bill, and I'm going to have another invoice for Mr. P. Jones, and say it came in on the 15th of July. Contracted services, work for first week of July 2019, and I'll say £250, and we'll say he's now gone back registered, just so we can have a look at this here. And again, that's for admin code, billable. I've got the default markup here of 20%. If that needs to change, you can change it there and save and close. So he's charged us £250. So then when we go in to raise the invoice for Adwinco, it's gone up here, look, £300. You can see it's got their work plus the 20% markup, but the customer won't actually see that. So if you look at the invoice here, this is what the customer will actually see. And you'll see that all in one line, £300. It's only separated on our system because this is where it's going to be separated out in our books, so we can see how much is on the actual expense that we've been charged and how much is the markup that we're making on that. I'm just going to come out of that there. So that's it really. That's how you mark an expense as billable. You don't have to mark it. If there's things that you get charged and you're not charging that on specifically to the client, you can actually just track it, and then you just can be aware of how much is being charged per customer, how much your bills are there. So for example, let me just show you on here. So if I go to reports, if we go down, keep going down here, there should be a bit on here. Which is not here anymore. That doesn't help. Okay, so let me just double check. I can't see on here. You've got uninvoiced charges, so this is stuff that we've put that is billable that we haven't actually invoiced. I was just having a look. So normally there is a part of expenses that we can use to see what expenses are done by customer. Let me just have a double check again. No, they haven't got that anymore on there, but that's fine. You can have a look in other places. It will just be listed on there. You can look on your profit and loss, for example. So if we go to profit and loss, where we've got this year, where it says total only, you can change that to customers, run report, and you can see that here, these billable expenses are here. If they weren't billable expenses, if they were just other type of expenses, they would come up here if we were putting that they weren't billable. So that's it really.